The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Good morning this morning and welcome back to Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, your station for fresh news, smart talk all day. It's Friday the 13th of June, 2025, and you are on the clock with Erin, Greene. First, let's start the show. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day. Now listen, I wanted to play Big Daddy by Johnny Cake to open the show. My producer reminded me that song is not necessarily appropriate for Father's Day. He said, Greene, just call your Uncle Stanley Mitchell and tell him he up to bat. Thanks for the reminder. Dear Uncle Stanley Mitchell, use it. Use our Father's Day this Father's Day. That is in the immediate Mitchell clan. When I say that, what I mean is Stanley Mitchell is my only uncle left. And I'm sending this word out to his children and his grandchildren. We sharing Uncle Stanley this year. But to everyone out there, happy Father's Day. To the fathers that are fathering children that are not their biological offspring, we say to them, especially, happy Father's Day. Thank you for stepping up and being present in the lives of young boys and girls who need a father figure. There are lots of men in this country who do that without a thought. It's not something they had to plan and put in their itinerary, right? It just comes naturally to them. We have lots of good fathers out here. We have lots of good men trying to be good fathers out here. And we have some men who are struggling out here. And so let's take this time to figure out how we're going to support men in being good fathers. That's all it is. How do we support them? Women, that's what our job is. Not to get on the social medias and talk about I's the only daddy this little boy ever knew. What you do is you talk about the ways in which you try to ensure that he had a healthy father figure in his life. Whether it's an uncle, whether it's a co-worker, but most important thing, healthy. Both boys and girls need it. So for today's show, I've got some stories from the media that I think are pertinent to fathers, pertinent to men as we approach Father's Day. But I have some questions for the audience, and also you could call in and talk about whatever you want to talk about today once it ain't gonna get us sued. Once it ain't gonna get us sued, right? We could talk about it. But I have some questions I want to throw to the audience. What you getting for Father's Day, and is it what you want for Father's Day? Like, what do you think you're going to get for Father's Day, and is it what you want for Father's Day? What do men really want for Father's Day? And do you men feel a way that we do not celebrate men and fatherhood, in the same way we celebrate women and motherhood. You've been trying to be present in your child's life, but there are barriers thrown in your way. Do you have a sort of confrontational relationship with the mother? Is co-parenting difficult or almost impossible? Are you separated from your child because you live on a different island or in a different country? Is that a barrier? And how does co-parenting help you to overcome that barrier? The numbers to call, 323-6232. That's 323-6232. 325-4316. That's 325-4316. And 325-4259. That's 325-4259. Family Island listeners, 242-300-5720. That's 242-300-5720. It is toll free. And the text line is always powered by BTC, 422-GR96. That's 422-4796. What you getting for Father's Day, and is it what you want for Father's Day? Do you have barriers in your life preventing you from spending as much time as possible or being as present as possible in your child's life? And if you do, and you've overcome them, would you share some of those tips or that information with us? Producer, let's go to the phone line. I'm also wondering, are we celebrating fathers sufficiently? Good morning, caller.
Hey, morning, Miss Greene. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How you do?
Boy, I'm so glad you was the only one who bring up Father's Day coming up. Boy, because, boy, y'all don't love us, you know. I don't think y'all love us. Day, we would drop a bag on Mother's Day. We would drop a rock on Mother's Day. On Father's Day, you know what we getting?
Socks.
Socks. Boy, you'd be glad we get socks. You're getting crab in the cage and crab out the cage.
You're not getting no crab and rice this year because crab too expensive.
Wow.
It ain't happening. Crab too expensive.
Question, right?
Yeah.
You know, you ask the question, what we want and what we don't want.
Yeah.
You know what we don't want as men?
Uh-huh.
We don't want nothing on side of the road. You know them basket thing on side of the road? They're recyclable at least for 4 times.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
So if you buy that for a man, right? I want every man on Father's Day, if they get something on side of the road, Sunday morning, leave it back on side of the road.
I got you. Why? It's an indication that you didn't put much thought into the gift?
Of course.
Okay.
Now, if it's cheap or you ain't have the money, what to do is, I'll be a little creative at least about it.
Okay.
Get the basket on side of the road, right? Then go to John Bull and tip the lady $5 or $6 to get a John Bull bag. And then you put the cheap basket in the John Bull bag.
Yeah.
At least make it look good.
Right.
You know, we like anything in John Bull.
Right. And because see, there's a gift to the office, like the man doing it for the woman, that it's in a John Bull bag, it adds another layer to the gift.
Man, Miss Greene, if you put a concrete block in a John Bull bag, anyone would appreciate it.
I take it.
John Bull on it.
I'll take it. I'll take it. Thank you. Thank you very much, eh? But, you know, I'm agreeing. I don't think that we, producer, let's go to the next caller. I don't think we celebrating men. And here's why. We in a place where we celebrate anything. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Ms. Greene. Can I call?
Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. The phone line dropped. Okay, here's what I'm saying. Every holiday in the Bahamas will eventually be centered around Junkanoo parading and politicking. Parading and politicking. I have a feeling every holiday in the Bahamas will be used either as a political mechanism or an opportunity to Junkanoo. Right? And if that's the case, Junkanoo community, JCNP, this is BJNP, the National Junkanoo Committee, the BNJC. Why y'all don't have a Father's Day rush? Right, see, because let's prep the caller coming to you right now. I appreciate like the Labor Day rush, release after being stuck on the man them job, right? But does it take away from this, the commemoration, the honoring of labor, of workers in the past, in the present, in the future, right? Could we have a Father's Day Junkanoo rush? I think that would be great. And because what you do is you incorporate, first of all, you let the women know the bulk of this could be on y'all. We rushing to show the men we appreciate them. Right? That's what we doing. I just think if we could be Junkanoo parading and politicking at every sort of national event, let's take Father's Day and make it a Father's Day rush. Here's a text. My children's mother is very spiteful, but I still try my best. I hope to get to my children on Father's Day. Text, if I could ask a question. You hope to get, is it because the work dynamic is difficult to get to them on that day, or the tumultuous nature of the relationship between you and the mother makes it difficult for you to carve or find space to be with your children on Father's Day? Here's another text. Good morning, Ms. Greene. I am a father of 2 adult females. For me, it is not a big deal. A sincere voice note or a Father's Day hug is enough for me. I like that. I like that. But I imagine that you come into this Father's Day already having a good relationship with the kids, lots of communication. Lots of communication. For a lot of men, it's as simple as that, like recognition. That you take the time out of the day to say, I love you. And let me tell you why Father's Day is important. Producer, let's see who is on the phone line. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Ms. Greene. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
I am so happy that you take out the time to speak about fathers today.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to me. Father's Day to me, I have 2 kids.
Mm-hmm.
The youngest one would be 21 by the end of this year, and the oldest one would be 28, 27.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And every day, once I could see them, every day is Father's Day to me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, my children doesn't wait for an occasion. I can say this over national radio and brag to celebrate me.
Mm-hmm.
My son will go into the mall, and if he see a shirt that he think I like, or I like tennis, he can buy it. Then he come and throw it on the bed, daddy. So some people only get rewarded on their birthday or Christmas or Father's Day. I can say I get rewarded as long as my children is around.
That's wonderful.
Now, my daughter doesn't live here in Nassau. She works on the Key.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever she comes, that's a celebration.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so, I don't want to sound bragful or something, but I need to let the people know that there are still some children that really take care of their parents.
Absolutely.
You know,
they care for them. Yeah.
Yeah. My December of this year make 10 years since my wife had died.
Mm-hmm.
I had a brother in Freeport. I have a brother in Freeport that is doing very well. He wanted to take my son. I tell him no. My wife's sisters wanted to take my son back to Exum. I tell them no.
Mm-hmm.
And Miss Greene, I've never been to school for my son doing wrong. I've never had to go to the court or the police station.
Mm-hmm.
My son will be 21 in August.
Congrats.
And I am proud of my son. Yes, going through that stage, they try to feel a man's strength. So that is something that's expected because I did it.
Mm-hmm.
But when I could sit down with them and say, boy, listen, I don't like this road you're going on. I don't like what you're doing here. Make up your mind. You want to see this one or see that one. And when I could
Listening.
back what I'm saying,
Yeah.
that's all I want.
Yeah.
I don't want to give me nothing, man.
Right. And even so, like they don't even necessarily have to agree, but that they respect it. That they
What I'm
understand why you telling them.
You know?
Yeah. Thank you.
I could go on this one, and this can be the shocker to you.
Mm-hmm.
He's dating a girl, and the girl came to pick him up.
Mm-hmm.
He knocked on my room door and said, Daddy, I gurned up for a couple of minutes. I could be back.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard the girl say, you have to tell your daddy every time you go to where you going out. He say, no, but that's my daddy.
Yeah.
I sat down on my bed that night, Miss Greene, and I cried to know that he had that type of respect for me.
Now, and watch this, right? Why these interactions are important, because it feels to me like if they continue their relationship, she would also say to her husband or her significant other, right? Like if they engage, why you need to know where I going? Right? Like your son is modeling good behavior. He's modeling healthy practices for her with his father. I love it.
Like she can accept something, but I haven't said nothing to her about it, you know.
No.
I mentioned it to him. I don't know if he said anything to her about it.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, he is my child. I got to talk to him.
Yeah.
Now, if he wants to talk to her about it, that's on them.
All right. Listen, I got another caller.
I am happy again how you are taking out this time for the men.
Yes, man. Of
I
course.
appreciate you, man.
No problem. Thank you very much. Producer, let's go to the next caller. Because next I want to talk about how divorce hits men hard and why men need hugs, right? Good morning, caller.
Hey, good morning, Miss Greene.
Morning, sir.
Yeah, you know, they call Father's Day, they call it Daddy Day.
Mm-hmm.
I am his son, and he's my father. He's in Mount Zion.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, my oldest would be 26 years old, right?
Okay.
So I won't stress out. And like you say, people call up. I like the gentleman who called. At least he's a Zuma man. Like people from Williamstown. So what I'm saying is, yeah, you know, I'm not hardly getting caught up into that. You know, spending time with them. So I have a 9-year-old and a 3-year-old will be 3 on the 27th of July. He's a Leo also.
Mm-hmm.
So it is not the question is if they I in their lives, they in my life, they all over me at this age. You understand what I'm saying? So they live with me, and my oldest don't, of course. And so I just texted her and made a little joke. Just 2 items that when I wanted a Cooper dinner from Nesbitt and a pair of slippers, something simple. So I said, you don't have to be on Father's Day or Daddy Day or whatever. I don't believe in that. You know what I mean? Spending time and the little simple things, especially with the little young ones, right?
Okay.
So the burden is on me to make sure they enjoy that day with me because they can't, you understand?
Yeah, they can't organize it themselves.
But as it relates to men being bitter when they heart should glitter, right? Then my first baby mother separated and took my oldest daughter back down. It didn't, you know, it was painful, but what I'm saying is I still knew that I had to be a man and send everything. Everybody on the mailboat knew me. Everybody in just knew me because it seems to me it wasn't that normal for people to be doing what I was doing. Putting things on the mailboat, holding my head up high, and now, up to this day, my head in the sky, and she loves me. So it didn't backfire on me because, like I said, I was a salesman door to door, and I met a lot of young girls who I thought I was going to make a lot of money on Father's Day, and they gave me these counter narratives about their father. And I said, but I just told Pastor Devon Roll, a great guy, great guy, about how men could be so absorbed. I couldn't do that. You know, be wearing $300-400 tennis, $300 shades, and $150 pants and shades. And my children, you know, I don't know how people could live with it. Maybe someone could explain it to me. Give thanks.
Thank you, 52. Let's go to the next caller, producer. Good morning, caller. Oh, sorry I missed you. Let's go to the next caller. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Erin. How you doing?
Good, thank you.
And happy Father's Day to all the fathers in the world.
Absolutely.
Hey, Erin, I agree with the texter, man. I don't need no gift from no John Bull or nothing, man. I'll take the gift from the side of the road or Armbailey Park, man. It's the thought that counts, man. This world's so serious now. You see what happened in Auckland Saturday, man? Sons killing fathers, man. I don't need no John Bull gift, man. You wake up Sunday morning, hug me, give me a kiss, let's cook, let's grill, let's watch a good game, and that's the best Father's Day gift for me, man.
Let's spend it together.
From no John Bull or nothing, man.
All right. Let's spend
My
that.
father was best friends, man. I don't need no. This world too serious, man. Some fathers ain't talking to sons. Some sons ain't see their father in years, and even know if their father living or have something to eat. That's more important, man. I don't need no gift from no John Bull or nothing, man. I don't need nothing. Just tell me Happy Father's Day, kiss me and hug me, and I'm good.
All right. Thank you. Spend time. Spend time. Spend time. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Erin. How you doing?
Hi, good. Thank you.
Yeah, clearly here.
Yes, sir.
I just want to say a happy Father's Day to all of the many fathers in the Bahamas.
Mm-hmm.
You know, over the last 23 years, I would have tried my best to bring some sort of equity, into the situation concerning children who are born out of wedlock,
Yes.
So this Father's Day, Erin, 22 years later, sad me to say that some fathers would have a very enjoyable day and many will be alienated from their children. And it's just a shame to see that 23 years later, despite signing on to a treaty which states that where the state must respect the rights of fathers to provide guidance which is appropriate to these children's evolving capacity, we are still grappling with this vexing issue. I tried my best. I risked it all, but successive government over the years, they could care less about the absenteeism in fathers and the direct correlation as relates to crime in this country. Many of the bloodshed that you see on our streets involving fathers and young men, it could have been mitigated there, and we could address this issue. We have 400,000 people, and we are ranked amongst the highest per capita when it comes to murder in the Bahamas. But I don't know why, no blood is on my hand. I can rest and I can sleep and I can, despite me being alienated, our organization being alienated from the policy, the legislation, and the program in the Bahamas, I can sleep good at night to know that I tried my best. We tried our best, but obviously our best was not good enough. But let the leaders do their thing and let the carnage continue to rise as high as the horse's bridle. But one day, Erin, a leader's going to rise up who's going to see the very importance of fatherhood and address this vexing issue once and for all to mitigate against the bloodshed that you see on our street.
Yes,
no one, no entity. We hear about domestic violence concerning women, but who is really talking about the domestic violence concerning men, the carnage on our street? We're not doing anything seriously to address particular problems. But 23 years later, as I look back and I hear the fathers calling in, it basically soothes my heart. It gives me some kind of, fathers are playing their role, their meaningful role. But yet, the battle still, the fight still continue, and I would do my best with whatever life I have left on this earth to see if we could bring some equity where both parents, would be given shared common responsibility to the very important issue concerning their children. But thanks, Erin, for allowing me.
Absolutely. That was Cleaver Duncombe, father's rights advocate in the Bahamas, has been working assiduously. He's been working with commitment for decades now to bring attention to the issues that many fathers are facing in this country and that many children are facing in this country because we don't center men as well as women and children in these family matters. Good morning, caller.
Good morning. That's me, right?
Yeah, that's you.
The blind one, Papa. Hey, I don't know if the word is consolation, like Cleaver was saying, but I feel good when I hear Cleaver. He say 20-something years later, longer than that, maybe correct. And I was one of them who, how you say it, chuck him, push him. When I hear his voice for the first time, I mean, we're getting older now.
A little, yeah.
As strong as what we was like 20 years ago. I said, this is like a little Hubert Ingram. Me and Levine, the late Levine Bannister. I used to say, this is a little Hubert Ingram right here. I say, man, look at what he's fighting for father's right. I think he get his situation sorted out. He pushed for legislation. So I feel good to know, Cleaver, not just that you do your part and maybe others will take over and stand on people like your shoulders and move further with this. But I feel good to know you get some things them done for the fathers them, and
Yeah.
we'll never forget you. From people like me, I sure others too out there, but I want to say also Happy Father's Day, Miss Greene.
Yeah.
I think fathers play a serious role, but you get some fathers what just playing a role as the fathers, but maybe the mother die or the mother ain't there, and he growing up the children. You get some mothers who even do it.
Mm-hmm.
You get good on both sides, so we could always find the bad in the father's part and the mother's part, but one day we pick to celebrate them. So I believe that, and I know that daddies are special people too.
Absolutely.
We love just like mothers do, and like I say, we celebrating the good part of but the fathers them. But you would agree that we also got to remember those stepmothers and those stepfathers them. They play a role. Some of them can't have no children or don't have no children.
Right.
Some in a home where they know none of the children is their children, and that baby gets sick or that child gets sick, big man and woman, they feel the pain. They ready to go to the hospital. Everything.
Yeah.
So I celebrate those kind of people. All the fathers them who in jail and stuff like that too.
Yes.
And I hate to rub it in. What you say like going on, but my grandfather,
Mm-hmm.
Stanley Austin Martin, Bishop Stanley Austin Martin, he played a major role in my life. And my daddy, Wellington Thomas Watts from Freeport, I think he's the second or the first or something.
Mm-hmm.
My brother named the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say Happy Father's Day to all of them, all the fathers them in jail and everything. And those children them who might have a problem with your daddy and stuff like that. The main bottom line, the main thing is that and have a problem with your mother or something, we couldn't have been here without them. So let's just thank them. And guess what? One of these days they ain't gonna be there. You might say goodbye and good riddance, but
Mm-hmm. But I tell you what, Papa. Thank you so very much. Absolutely. I come into your caller right now. I got a couple of stories here on the quickly mothers prostituting girls to get bills paid. It's something that Papa said right there. That some fathers are not there because they can't be there. Some fathers are there because they don't have the capacity to be there. Some parents don't have the capacity, right? Some children, we're not going to ask them to celebrate their parents because their parents have done things to them that are unbelievable. But what we do is we hold space for them so that they understand if and when they become parents, right? That they will be supported so that they could be better parents. They could be the best parents that they could be, right? And that's how we honor mothers and fathers in situations where we should not be forced to honor our mothers and fathers, right? We still show young people the way so that they can be mothers and fathers that deserve honor. Let's go to the caller. Good morning, caller. Caller, you still there? I'm sorry I lost you, caller.
Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Erin.
Hi.
I really appreciate you chiming in on the Father's Day issue.
Mm-hmm.
But like my schoolmate 52 say, you call it Daddy Day.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as I'm concerned, every day of the year is Father's Day and Mother's Day.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I am happy to know you met my oldest daughter,
mm-hmm.
and with her getting a promotion in her career last month, that's Father's Day to me.
Mm-hmm.
My son, 2 months ago, he got a promotion in his career, and that's Father's Day to me.
Mm-hmm.
And my baby girl, today make 1 week since she obtained her master's degree. You see?
Mm-hmm.
And I got a hat,
Yeah.
the daddy from the university where she obtained a master's degree.
Okay.
Now that's Father's Day to me.
Yes.
Spending time with us fathers is important. And I declared yesterday on Dwight's show of my disability about my sight.
Mm-hmm.
So I want every child out there to know that me, who thinks like a parent, would like for them to achieve whatever they have to achieve and keep pushing on, because, we as parents, we are the ones that help. They say take a village to raise a child.
Yes.
And in this country, then those who may be in position don't step up. We have to do it, and I appreciate you for recognizing Father's Day.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Have a wonderful day. Let's go to the next call. Why men need hugs from the mouths of men. Good morning, caller.
Very blessed morning, Erin. How are you this morning?
I'm good, thank you.
I'm impressed by the gentleman who spoke earlier, and also a papa who just spoke just now, concerning fathers and their roles.
Mm-hmm.
What I want to say, I think fathers are just too busy. Because even though they try to make a living, and some give their funds to mothers to take care of their children, because of unknown hate and things that mothers especially can't separate as far as fathers are concerned, they never mention their child doing anything. So anytime they spend the father's money and buy things, they always talk with your noble papa, but they never choose to tell them, we just got this money from your dad. So I'd advise all fathers to take another approach this 20th century. Instead of putting money in these ladies' hands, go and take your children, carry them to the shop. Let them buy what they want. Let them pick up things that's important to them. You still can make the choice. Not everything they pick up you're going to pay for.
Yeah.
Children, especially when they're small, when you put things in the trolley, they'll only remember, my daddy let me pick up everything I wanted. But you only put and pay for the things that you could afford. Because as they put them in, what you can't afford, you take them out. They don't remember that. But the last thing when you're walking to that store and you would put in their hands, they leave out there the happiest child. And they grow up those memories.
Yes.
Because my baby turns 40 this year. And every time there's a situation and they weigh out the good and the bad, they can always say, my daddy was always this, my daddy was always that. Mine, we had a good relationship as mother and father. Just lost my wife the other day.
Condolences.
This year would have made 46 years. But we were good parents, and I think we supported each other as a team, which meant you're the father, I'm the mother, you do your part, and I do my best to make sure and uphold my part. And we've raised good children, but I'm very proud. But I'm Erin.
Yeah.
I guess it's fake. Crabs just grow in June.
Yeah.
They just flow and grow.
That's all.
So everybody just cooks crab and rice, and so it becomes traditional. But look we can change it. We can still buy things, especially earmarked for dads.
Yeah.
We can just make dads special if only for one day.
Yes.
A good father never sleeps. While the mother's asleep, the children are asleep, he's wondering how he's going to keep that household together. So again, I'm grateful for you having the show, Erin, and I trust that other fathers will be listening and take heed to what's being said on this talk show today.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you very much. I hope so too. Producer, we got to go to a break eventually. I sent you a song via email. I found it. I can't believe I forgot. We have our Father's Day song, Big On. Daddy, Daddy, these children one day, Daddy. We got to play that. That's our Bahamian anthem. I also think that Damian Marley, he took that song from Big On and made his own hit with it. We can find it in the break, Kermit. As we prep to go to a break. Oh boy, I see you, caller. Let's prep to go to the caller. I want to talk about why Father's Day is important, because once young men sort of hit puberty and they start smelling different, they start smelling like adult men, right? Like they growing. That their relationships with their mothers change, their relationships with the female caregivers in the family change. And young men, the physical intimacy, the healthy hugs, the cuddles, right? These things stop. And observing young people through social media and media, YouTube, in North America in particular, a lot of young men and adult men talk about how they never receive flowers. They don't get hugs. Nobody asks them if they're okay. They're expected to be a brick wall of strength 24/7. They're not supposed to have feelings, right? And a lot of older American men expressing this thing that me get healthy physical intimacy, not sexual intimacy, which is separate. There you go. That's Big On.
scrambling to pay shipping and handling. Bills is outstanding. Soon as couple hundred in the bank, man, it gone again. Wondering, what's some other loan payment plan begin? Man, paying bills just make me wanna be a kid again. But no, I'm a mad dog, a hard-working citizen. Husband with massive kin. Why when I die, I'll be survived by the wife and 5 children. Until then, I'll write the lead out of pencil, ink out of pen. Coloring out red, quick on plus I'll kill for them. Cause that's my family. Soccer, ballet, music, karate. Michael Milligan, Maya, and Dakari, and Dari. Daddy, these children need their daddy. Although I working hard, somewhere holding down my family. They still young and wisdom and knowledge and understanding. Foolishness is in their heart, so you know overstanding. The daddy, these children need their daddy. No other love like mommy, but I still need him around me. Daddy, daddy, these children want their daddy.
What you mean? He take picture of that good-for-nothing boy?
Shh, you don't want Bella hair. You say that. You know she always say that's my good child.
So what he doing in Junior phone?
Oh, he there cause the police looking for him. He on their wanted list.
Wanted persons in your phone now?
Yes, child. And when police want to find anybody quick, after something happen, they can send pictures direct to your phone. Go to Google Play or App Store and search for Crack Crime Bahamas. Then pick install and it will go straight to your phone.
There is also a section on missing persons.
Yes, girl. Everybody needs to get this app so police can tell us right away when these people go missing. Just like an alert system.
Yes, it has numbers for Crime Stoppers Bahamas so you can call and nobody knows it's you. Call directly to Miami and give the information without giving your name or anything about you. I tried the other day, and when I hear Junior and his boys talking about where they hide those guns, I walk quick round the corner and call that number.
Call 328-8477 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands.
Love the show? Want to give your support? Become a sponsor today. Call 302-2300 for our rates and packages. That's 302-2300. Become a sponsor on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Guardian Media Group and Going Places Travel want to take you and 3 others on a 7-day cruise to Panama, Colombia, Curacao, and Aruba on Royal Caribbean Serenade of the Seas. And here's the best part, no visa required. That's right, no visa required. You have 4 ways to enter, 4 ways to win. 1, fill out the form in the Nassau Guardian. 2, listen to Star 106.5 and Guardian Radio 96.9. 3, follow us on Facebook and Instagram. 4, or make a purchase at Going Places Travel. Entry deadline is June 27, 2025. So pack your bags, get ready for ocean breeze. You and 3 loved ones sailing the high seas on a vacation cruise of a lifetime. Drawing is on July 4, 2025. Brought to you by the Nassau Guardian Media Group and Going Places Travel. Certain conditions apply. Airfare, taxes, and gratuities not included.
Shout out to the good dads all over the world. I want to send a shout out to the good dads all over the world.
There's a lot of word in the streets about these men this and these men that. All about the bad ones, making really mad ones who ain't doing this and doing that. But I am so happy that I have a daddy. It makes me proud each and every day. So if you're feeling like I feel, blow a kiss and encourage yours today. I wanna send a shout out to the good dads all over the world.
Good morning and welcome back to On the Clock with Erin Greene. We are talking Father's Day. As a text, fathers are the builders of every nation with Jehovah God's blessing, and mothers are family makers and home builders in any nation. This is God's design and plan for mankind, so we must acknowledge the facts and live by them. Happy Father's Day to all from the mayor of Grand Bahama, Selah. Good morning, caller.
Hi. Good
Hi.
morning. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'll be good.
Good.
I want to say Happy Father's Day to all the good fathers who concern themselves with their children.
Okay.
Okay? And that including the real dad, well, the daddies, the uncles, the granddads, the godfathers, and particularly my 2 sons. They know my voice. I will say their name on the air. But I also want to address, and I can say once, I want to address those who did not take care of their children.
Okay.
Okay? All I want to say is the same. even the crab ain't sure enough this year for you to cook, for nobody to cook a good pot of crab and rice.
Okay.
Honestly, check yourself. Come on, do better.
That's
what I wanted to say, and I thank you for your time.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I imagine this is from a woman who has seen what the presence of a father in a child's life will do. And she mad for the other children. You know what I'm saying? Like, on behalf of the children who did not have their fathers present, who could have been present, right? That we ache for you and we row them for you. At the same time, let us pray that this Father's Day is the day that those fathers see the light, right? Like they have a Saul and Damascus moment where they see the light and change their ways and try to make amends with their children. See, October is Older Persons Month, and in October we're going to talk about all kinds of things, elder abuse and negligence and abandonment, right? But we never really get into the depth of the conversation, which is what are the dynamics that caused this to happen. I will talk about another thing. We talked about why men need hugs. Men need healthy physical intimacy, right? Men should not be engaging in sexual intimacy just for physical intimacy. Men should not have to pay, right? Like the transactional nature of some of these relationships. Men should not have to pay for physical intimacy, significant other or loved ones. Here's another thing I wanted to touch on quickly, because divorce hits men hard. There's right, like divorce hits men hard. The ending of a holistically intimate relationship with someone, that hits them hard. But you know what hits them harder? That they are no longer able to be in their child's life in the same way. You know how many men are devastated that now when they wake up, the children are not in the room next door, in the house, not running in the room to jump in the bed and annoy them. This Father's Day conversation is important because it opens up the windows we could see into men's lives. Divorce hits men hard, not having the same proximity to their children. And where we come up with this idea that as soon as I break up with the man, that they are now my children and not his children. That because he's in relationship with me, he no longer has a say in his children's life. The ending of your intimate relationship cannot be the ending of the relationship with his children. Now, if he is abusive, if he's physically abusive, then we have to talk about counseling and observation and ensuring that he's not abusive to the children as well. But even abusive fathers have rights. Right? And then what we do as a community is we give them the support they need to be better fathers, because only them could be the biological father of the child. Right? And to the stepfathers, we say, listen, let's take out a moment for the stepfathers who step up and be fathers, understanding, providing guidance to, will always have a relationship with that biological parent, even if they don't talk to them. There will still be a relating to them. How they develop will still be in relation to their feelings about their biological father. All right, we got a couple of minutes left before the end of the show. So here are the stories that I wanted to sort of bring into the conversation today about Father's Day. Of course, mothers prostituting girls to get bills paid, right? Officials have noticed an alarming increase in the commercial sexual exploitation of minors involving mothers who are prostituting their female children to get bills paid. That's why I wanted to put in there. Child support not sufficient. Is it that fathers are not contributing to the household? Is it that they cannot afford to contribute more? Because here's why. If we were having difficulty maintaining this home and the two of us were living in it together, now that we're separated as a man and I'm out of that household, I have to provide housing for myself and I have to contribute to the household. Can I afford to do it? Right? Now, that's one category of men. Then we have another category of men, some of which say, if the woman breaks up with me, then my relationship with the child is done. Right? We get that dynamic popping up as well. I want to say to those men, no, so. It don't go so. And you have the courts and the law, right, to support you in being able to maintain a relationship and regular engagement with your child, despite the child's mother's attitude or behavior towards you. Right? We know, like we look at the story of Anthony Edwards, Timberwolves basketball player who recently found out that he had fathered a child with a woman he had no intention of having children with. Let's go to the phone line, and he decided that he would pay the child support all at one time because he felt like he was trapped into a relationship by a woman who knew he didn't want to have a child with, who knew the man didn't want to have a child with her. And he said, I don't want to have to interact with this woman at all. But I can pay the child support, and I hope that the elders around him tell him when he send that lump sum of money, he sends a letter to be given to the child when they're old enough to read it, to explain why he made the decisions he made. Let's go to the phone line quickly. Good morning, caller.
Hi, morning, Erin.
Morning.
Hi, do you want to know when the Defense Force is going to do a frequent check around Montague Beach? At 5 minutes to 10 this morning, we came out of the beach.
Mm-hmm.
And in 5 minutes time, at 10 o'clock, 4 jets pull up and fill up their jets carrying tourists. Now, them tourists obviously do not go up to the area. They're not going to stop until something starts to happen with them. Right? So the Defense Force need to do some frequent checks because they're running jet skis and they're by the bathroom, which is a great to swimmers. That's what they know.
Oh, so they're coming and not on the ramp side.
Exactly.
Okay, all right, I get you. So you're saying
okay, thank you.
The swimmers, particularly this morning, were at risk because jet skis are using the docking at Montague Beach on the eastern side of the beach to embark and disembark passengers, but instead of them bringing the jet skis in on the ramp side of the dock, they are running their jet skis up on the beach side of the dock. It's not just Defense Force. We also need police out there because the taxis have just taken it over. They park anywhere. They block the entrance. A couple of months ago, I was at the light. My light turned green. A taxi was attempting to reverse into the intersection from Montague Beach. And as they hesitated, you could hear a voice shouting at them, just do it, just reverse your car. The taxis create an obstruction at the entrance to Montague Beach, the easternmost entrance. They do whatever they want. They park their taxis wherever they want. The two businesses that are out there not supposed to be there. It's contrary to the regulations for vendors on a public beach. Right? The people is just do whatever they want. I would like to thank you, caller, because you was real off topic just now. But as we end the show, it gives me weeks and weeks and weeks. But this morning I have to talk about it briefly because I watch a car turn right on red from Shirley Street to East Street. From Shirley Street to the police right down the road there, And if you look to your left, the police right up the road there, And they had not one care or concern about it. I've also noticed an increase in the number of vehicles that are driving the wrong way on one-way streets. And these are Bahamians. Also, Ministry of Works, remember when I was rowing the Minister Clay Sweeten for making TikTok staff using your ICE, when you could be making TikTok videos about road signage? You ever thought about that? You could be making TikTok videos showing people what the signs on the road mean and what will happen to them if they don't follow the instructions the signs give. Also, we have this new epidemic. Cars are just stopping in the middle of traffic. This morning on East Hill Street, heading towards Government House and Market Street, a car ran the stop sign out of Parliament Street and then just stopped in the middle of the road as my car was approaching. And then when I beat my horn, it's like they had an attitude. Like I can start driving whenever I want to start driving, miss. I can stop my car wherever. You can't just stop your car in the road to decide if you can turn through the corner or not. You can't stop your car in the middle of the road to determine whether this is the corner you're supposed to turn through. If you're unsure, you keep going and you turn around. Better yet, you find a place to park your car safely and check your directions before you start driving again. Y'all getting, the road. And the only thing I can hear y'all saying is, we all want speed all the time. Y'all have some. Listen, I came to work from the Johnson Road area this morning. I gave myself 40 minutes. I gave myself 40 minutes of time before I have to be up here and in front of this mic. And I shouldn't require more than 40 minutes to get from the Johnson Road area to the Nassau Guardian. And you on the road at 9:30 in the morning talking about, if you had just made to go, you should have left an hour earlier. Hey, I'm going to drive my car at 12 miles an hour if I want to. A large percentage of Bahamians just do not have the capacity to operate a motor vehicle on public roads in traffic. That's just what it is. Because if you feel like you don't need to use your turn signal because you are confused the enemy, I don't need to tell people what I'm doing on the road. If you don't need to observe the rate of speed and maintain it when you enter traffic, if you don't need to stop at stop signs and red lights, you do need capacity required to operate a motor vehicle, and you should not be able to get insurance or get a license. We just ain't asking the right questions on this test. And before I change my life from Christ, I can try being not the driving instructor, the driving tester. That's what I could be. Anyway, we all out of time. I want to remind you all before I go, Guardian Media Group and Going Places Travel want to take you on a 7-day cruise for 4 to Panama, Colombia, Curacao, and Aruba on Royal Caribbean's Serenade of the Seas. And here's the best part. No visa required. That's right. No visa required. You have 4 ways to enter, 4 ways to win. 1, fill out the form in the Nassau Guardian. 2, listen to Star 106.5 and Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram or make a purchase at Going Places Travel. Entry deadline is June 27th, 2025, drawing on July 4th, 2025. Listen, certain conditions apply. Airfare, taxes, and gratuities. Have a great day. Guardian Radio AM with C.A. Nuri is up next.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.